Hello everyone, today we are making this easy garlic and herb smashed potatoes, so let's get started.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place, 'cause the love you give.
You want to start with getting your pot to boil your water in. The water doesn't have to be boiling before you start the potatoes. Right now we're just trying to get it soft. So I'm placing my tiny gold potatoes into my pot and I'm going to let this water boil. Since we're going to be eating the skin on our potatoes, I like to add a little bit more seasoning. So I have my chicken seasoning and I'm also adding some salt to bring this to a boil. Halfway through, you want to check this with a knife. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't, so I do apologize. Once you can put your knife through your potato, you're going to pour that through a strainer and let all that water drain out. You want to be very careful with this part. I like to start with just pouring the water out a little bit before really pouring in my potatoes so that the potatoes don't splash back and burn me. So just be very careful during this part. As I said, you want to check your potatoes with a knife, typically in the water. I just forgot to record it, but just to show you what that would look like. As long as your knife kind of goes through the potato, you are good to go. We're going to pour that in a pan big enough that it can fit once the potatoes are smushed. I'm going to cover that in some good olive oil and give it a good mix. You want to grab any type of cup in your house, typically a glass cup, a mug. I feel like it's just not doing the job it needs to do. You're going to place that on your potato and smush it down a little bit. It doesn't have to be mashed potatoes. We're just kind of smushing them down and set that aside. I'm cutting up some rosemary and some thyme and some garlic because this is a garlic and herb potato. Some of the rosemary is a little bit annoying to cut, but it will start to come together. And you just want to get it small as possible. If you don't know, when you're cutting thyme, you can kind of just pull the entire leaf off the stem. It makes it so much easier to cut. Get that out the way and give that another rough chop and just make sure it's nice and tiny. It's going to take a little while, but you will get there. Cut the end of your garlic off and then smush those down. We're going to cut that up very small as well. And give that a good cut. You're going to start with a rough chop, but of course towards the end you want it to be nice and tiny just to make the eating process a little bit more enjoyable. Once that's all done, you can put that into a bowl, and we're going to put that in a bowl with some parsley, some salt, some pepper, and 1 stick of salted butter. Give that a good mix. Make sure everything is well combined. And what we're going to do is place this all over our potatoes before they go into the oven so that the butter can melt down on the potatoes and give us some flavor. We're going to place this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes, just depending on how brown you want them. Once your potatoes are at the oven, try to get some of that butter at the bottom and kind of just baste the potatoes with those just to give it a little bit more flavor. I also like to top them with a little bit of extra salt and pepper, just depending on how much you might have used in the butter process. And you can also place this on broil for a few seconds just to give it that nice crisp. And that's how you make an easy potato recipe.